This is a video I did not want to have to make, but after how shit the community has been, and how painfully draining SML has been lately, I don't think I have a choice now. Let's just get this over with. SML and its community, for a while now, haven't really been all that good, but this year both have been worse than ever. Not only has the community gotten even more toxic than ever before, but the videos have gotten so boring and time-consuming to sit through that I've just had enough. I took a break from SML because I don't want to lose my sanity. From SML itself being very draining, to reviewing it being a pain in the ass, to the community being petty as all hell, I need a break from the madness. All of that, though, is kind of the reason this video was made. Let's dive into this shit. Okay, the SML community hasn't ever really been the best, but I can say for sure that it got way worse within the past year or so. Now, when I say SML community, I'm referring to the SML reviewing community and the fanbase. When referring to the SML reviewing community, there's two sides of it, the YouTube side and the Instagram side. And personally, I was and still am way more active on the Instagram side than the YouTube side. But I'll talk about both sides as well as a few other parts of the community that I feel are worth mentioning. So, the SML Instagram community is kind of a mixed bag overall. Now, I can't really talk about specific dramas that have happened there since most of them I don't really know a lot about. But something I can definitely say with confidence is that it is a lot more boring to be in now than it was back when I first joined. I first made my Instagram account on March 11th, 2021, and around then is when I'd say the SML Instagram community was at its peak. To be more specific, I'd say early to mid 2021 was around when it was at its most active. Over time, though, the community just got deader and deader and deader. I admittedly am kind of surprised and fairly grateful that I became this popular in the reviewing community, though to an extent it is kind of a mix of a blessing and a curse. The good part is that lots of people do actually support my reviews and me as a person. Also, personally, I like attention. The bad part, however, is that I've encountered a lot of shitheads who love to just dunk on me for the sake of it. Yeah, I get that's the internet as a whole, but it still kind of pisses me off. Also, reviewing SML has gotten more and more stressful as time has flown by, but I'll talk more about that later in the video. As for people who love to hate on me for no reason, I'm not going to list particular names for obvious reasons. I don't want drama to happen, and there have been many examples of this over the years, but one in particular happened recently that I want to talk about. Basically, my review of Cody's Big Move kinda got mocked by another reviewer in their review of the video, and the reason they mocked it is because they liked the video a lot more. Now, don't get me wrong, I get surprised by certain opinions myself sometimes too. Like, I know there were a lot of people who didn't like the talent show, and even though I personally disagree, I can see why and respect it. What I don't respect are people mocking an opinion they disagree with in their own review just as a way for them to cope with having a different opinion. I'm sorry, but that happening genuinely pissed me off, and it's kind of pathetic to me. I just don't get what the point of it is. Anyway, the SML Instagram community is quite a bit hard to get used to in my opinion, as it was for me when I first joined, even if not all of it is bad. Unfortunately though, in terms of the drama side of things, I can't really say a lot about the SML Instagram community. I know I only provided that one specific example that happened recently, but I only did so because it's the only thing that popped up in my head. Everything else just kind of felt like a blur to me. A lot of the stuff I do have to say regarding me as a reviewer won't pop up until way later in the video, so sorry if talking about the Instagram community ended up being a bit anticlimactic. I really didn't have as much to say about it as I thought I would. Really, overall, there's a lot of good and bad to be found in it, and honestly, neither of them really outweigh each other. It is a perfect mixed bag overall. If you're wondering about how I feel as an SML reviewer overall, again, I'll talk about that later. Now, what about other parts of the community, like the YouTube side of it? Well, that kinda had a downfall too. The SML YouTube community, at least to me, never really seemed as big as the SML Instagram community. However, the drama that happened on the YouTube side is way bigger than the Instagram side. Let's get some of the obvious out of the way. First and most obvious, the SMR, or as I like to call him, White EDP. Though I'll call him the SMR for this because I know some people are soft and can't take a joke. Anyway, minus SML itself, the SMR was probably the biggest SML-related YouTuber before he got exposed. His channel mainly consisted of SML and video game lists from what I can recall. The SMR was actually the person who originally got me into reviewing in the first place. Though honestly, his videos weren't really as good as people made them out to be. They weren't like horrendous or anything, but I don't know, something about them just kind of felt off a lot of the time while watching them. I'll admit, I think I actually enjoyed the SMR's videos in 2023 more than his videos in past years, and I was hoping that his content would get even better this year. But in December of 2023, the SMR got exposed for, you know, being a diddler and ended up deleting all of his social medias. People over time have obviously archived his videos so people can still watch them, but I don't really have the care to go back and watch them. Again, they're not badly made at all, I just kinda always found them overrated. Oh yeah, and SMR's Instagram reviews are really lazily made, no offense to anyone who likes them. Alright, time to talk about the other big diddler of the community, Ray Rants, or for short, Ray. Ray I don't have anywhere near as much to say about as the SMR since, unlike the SMR, I didn't first hear about Ray until sometime in 2023. All I can really recall is that, well, he made SML content, no shit, and his voice was a bit annoying to listen to, and he kinda got exposed for the same thing the SMR did. Yeah, that's just about all I know about him. He was just a less liked SMR pretty much. There's also Dabdo, but he hasn't done anything horrible, and his newer content is honestly perfectly fine, definitely better than his pre-2023 stuff. So what about other sides of the community? Well, there's two more I want to quickly mention, though I won't talk about them thoroughly. First is the SML Wiki. Now I know there actually are people on there who do watch my content, so I'll try not to be too mean with what I'm gonna say. The wiki has a lot of people who love to jump on you for no reason, like people who will point out the littlest stuff and criticize it just cause why not. I've been on the wiki since early 2020 and it peaked in activity during mid-2021, though similar to the Instagram community, it just got deader as it went on. The other one I want to quickly mention is the SML Discord server. The server was made around June of this year if I recall correctly, and like a lot of big servers, it's a bit overwhelming to be in. This server has a lot of people you can tell are a bit deranged. There was also apparently this drama with someone showing their, you know, meat stick in VC, which caused the server to get shut down for a few days. Oh yeah, and Will pings everyone like 58 times a week, so that's fun. I don't have anything else to say about the server either, it's just full of a lot of people I don't like vibing with at all. So those were all the parts of the community that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, the SML fanbase slash community as a whole is pretty rough in areas, but now that that section is over, how has SML itself been recently? Let's address something that I think we can all agree on. 2024 SML has sucked, honestly, more than any other SML year. Yes, it is worse than 2020, but let's quickly talk about how the quality even got to this point. To do that, I want to go through sections of SML years and just kind of describe how they went, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. First years up to talk about are 2009 to 2011. I'm not counting 2007 and 2008 because there's like nothing to talk about with them. Anyway, these years were mainly when Logan was just starting out, and they do have some charm to them even if they aren't the best years. They're not bad years of SML by any means, don't get me wrong, they're just a bit boring. 2011's better than the other two, but that's besides the point. The plots and jokes were mostly simplistic during this time, with Mario and Luigi's Stupid and Dumb Adventures Seasons 1 and 2 driving most of the content. Mario, Toad, Black Yoshi, Shrek, and Woody were really the only main characters during this time. Next batch of years I want to talk about are 2012 to 2014. These years are when Logan really began to improve his style, and while not at his peak yet, he was getting there. 2012 and 2013 in particular showed many improvements with the plot writing, the humor, and the overall tone in videos. 2014 did this as well for the most part, though this is when the 2-video-a-week schedule got introduced, and you can tell Logan didn't get used to it for a while, because outside of the series videos, the quality kinda dropped for a while. Not like horrendously, but there was a noticeable difference, even if 2014 is still a good year overall. Anyway, the main characters from these years were Mario, Toad, Black Yoshi, Shrek, and Woody, like previous years, but we also got the additions of Junior, Bowser, Chef Pee-Pee, Joseph, and Cody. Bowser and Chef Pee-Pee were already in the series before 2012, but they weren't really main characters yet. Oh yeah, 2013 is when the Junior era began, which is my personal favorite era of SML, but I know it did gain some controversy at the time. Oh, but if you think this era gained controversy, just you wait. Alright, now let's talk about the peak of SML, that being 2015 to 2017. These years are when Logan pretty much perfected his style, having lots of really fun and memorable videos during these years. 2015 started out basically as a continuation of 2014, still good mind you, but when they moved into the apartment, it really got good. The plots were really creative, the humor got really good, and Logan knew when to experiment with videos during this time, having horror videos like Chef Pee-Pee's Mistake, The Purge, and The Secret Door, or more emotional videos like Junior Loses Thomas, Junior Goes to Military School, Jeffy's Parents, and Joseph's Mom. Speaking of Junior Goes to Military School, Logan really knew how to develop his characters well, such as the arc with Joseph being homeless. Even just singular videos managed to develop characters well, like Black Yoshi's in Trouble, Cool Cody, Rosalina's ex-boyfriend, and The Magical Button. Not to mention, some videos had spectacular editing, like Junior's go-kart race and Junior's Nerf war. Unfortunately, though, some drama started arising, particularly in 2017. Don't get me wrong, it didn't affect the quality of the videos. Yet, but some notable stuff did happen. There was the Jeffy's Tantrum drama, the SML movie not happening, and of course the demonetization of the channel. I should also mention that Jeffy was by far the most controversial character in late 2017, because around that time is when Jeffy fans really began to overtake the channel, and Jeffy being mentioned by young people all the time really pissed the fanbase off. Logan was also beginning to get backlash for not removing Jeffy, though I'm pretty sure Logan was more so in denial about the whole situation rather than malicious about it. But back to what I said a minute ago, remember how I said the quality of videos still wasn't being affected in 2017? Well, that would change in 2018. 2018 and 2019 are when you could tell the downfall was beginning. The first half of 2018 in particular is when you could tell Logan was very burnt out from everything happening. There was the drama from 2017 still haunting him, but this year some new stuff happened. The original SML channel just got flat out demonetized as a whole, causing him to move to SLL, and there was also stuff like the Patreon shit and the Good Morning America shit. Because of all of this, video quality took a huge nosedive. For example, a lot of characters like Jeffy, Brooklyn Guy, Chef Pee-Pee, Joseph, and Cody just became really one note for a while in 2018. Jeffy would always scream and cuss for the dumbest reasons, Brooklyn Guy would always make ex-wife jokes and cause filler, more on that later. Chef Pee-Pee would just become a black stereotype, Joseph would always disappear like 1 minute into the video, and Cody's gay jokes would be turned up a notch. Though the second half of 2018 and the first half of 2019 weren't quite as bad for drama, and the video quality did improve for a bit, thankfully. It wasn't like 2015 to 2017 quality again, but it was better than what we were getting in 2018's first half. Stuff like merch would begin to be introduced, unfortunately, and it would only get worse from here, but thankfully it wasn't too horrible yet. The second half of 2019 would also start out fairly normal, minus Logan having to move channels again, but unfortunately, drama would begin to arise again in the last few months of the year, this time involving the videos themselves as well, and it got so bad that I don't think there was a point of return, and I think there is one video specifically where I can pinpoint that. The School Project. I think literally everyone agrees that this video fucking sucks. This video is about the trio having to make a solar system project, which just sounds like a normal video on paper, but the twist is that Junior is mad at Cody for Cody accidentally breaking his toy helicopter earlier in the video, and the entire video is Junior and Cody arguing endlessly over nothing. This video is when I think the downfall really became apparent. It was already showing a little throughout 2018 and a bit of 2019, but from this video onward, it was just one bad decision after another. Because guess what came literally 4 videos after this one? The human puppets. Now, I am in no way biased against the puppets, it's more so the way Logan handled them initially. Oh yeah, and to end the year off, there was Logan breaking up with Chili, though this drama didn't really get put into full force until 2020. Overall, though, a ton of bad shit happened throughout these years, and while they aren't bad years for the videos themselves, they're still quite problematic in areas. One more thing real quick, I gotta say 2019 SML is a bit overrated looking back. It's still a good year of SML, and it's still way better than 2018 was for videos, but I don't think it's one of the best SML years anymore. And finally, the last section of SML years to mention are 2020 to present day, and my god is it problematic. Now, in terms of actual drama outside of videos, only 2020 and 2021 have that. 2022 to present day are when more of the problems have to do with the videos themselves. But let's begin with 2020, probably the most infamous SML year ever. There was a lot of shit that happened throughout this year that just caused it to go to shit. First off, remember how I said that Logan and Chili broke up at the end of 2019? Well, that drama would get way worse in 2020. Now, the year actually did start off basically as a continuation of 2019, or at least January felt like that. Then February came and the year went to shit. There was the introduction of the Mario puppet being done through a very shit video, but the video after the school dance featured a character named Roy Gethard near the end. During that scene, Cody tells Junior about some of the stuff Roy's done that made him so cool, and you could immediately tell that this was an inside reference to something, that something being the drama between Logan and Chili. Logan would go on to make a few references to the drama throughout the year in other videos as well, but don't worry, it gets better. Remember when COVID hit and just kind of destroyed the world for a while? Well, because of this, in April, Poobie had to leave SML for a while since he was afraid of getting his grandparents sick, so Logan pretty much had to work around Poobie not being in videos. At first, it actually wasn't too bad. April and May were actually fairly okay months. We got stuff like Joseph getting a new red shell, as well as a few creative videos like Richard Gets a Job and Jeffy Jr.'s Big Heist. We even got the return of Poobie for the baseball game. Unfortunately though, after Poobie departs again after the baseball game, the video quality reaches an all-time low. It literally became shit video after shit video until Chef Pee Goes to Hollywood was released. We'd also get new recurring characters during this time, such as Camille and Harry, and Scooter would get overused as hell as well, despite not even being a new character. I will say September to November 2020 SML actually wasn't too bad. We got a few pretty creative videos, and even when Poobie left again in November, the video quality still remained pretty consistent. Then December came and wrecked the quality again. 2021 did start out pretty normal, but sadly in February, SML got sent a CND by Nintendo. Now, it's not proven whether it was fake or not, but I personally treated it like it was real, and I'll just say that up until June, videos were probably the most forgettable they ever were. June and July thankfully managed to be great months, but from this point onward, a lot of the problems with modern SML would end up having to do with the videos themselves. Now, this wasn't apparent yet, as both 2021 and 2022 were actually fairly alright for SML. They had a few problems, like Junior and Joseph getting worse and worse, but it was actually not too bad for a while. In fact, I'm actually going to state an unpopular opinion. I think 2021 is actually the best year of the 2020s for SML. Sure, some shit happened earlier on in the year, but when the year got unique, it got really unique. Unfortunately though, in October 2022, Logan would begin to enforce something that I think completely destroyed modern SML. That thing being none other than the 3 videos a week schedule. This schedule is when I think Logan completely lost it. From this point onward, the video quality would just go down the drain. October 2022 was the first month using this schedule, and wow, this month sucked for SML. I sure wonder why. Even after this, it would get better, but not really by a lot. And sure, you could make the argument that videos were already bland before. The difference with the 3 videos a week schedule is that we now have more of them. And in 2023, it'd just get worse. You see, 2023 began to introduce stuff that wouldn't really feel like SML. For example, in April, the Huckledoos got introduced, and 3 out of 4 of them are very one note, Hank being the exception. Even then, though, he's had his fair share of bad appearances too. However, one change in August is when I think SML had no hope left. Logan released a video titled Junior's Crazy Girlfriend, which was a pretty annoying video, but at first, we all thought this was just going to be a one-off thing and we could just forget about it. But nope, Logan remembered about it, and would even go on to develop another shitty relationship, Cody and Timmy. Both of these relationships, as well as late 2023 as a whole, is when I began to realize I was watching a whole different show. Late 2023 SML, at least to me, quite literally feels like beta 2024 SML. It's not as bad as 2024 SML is, but you can tell it hints towards some things 2024 would end up featuring. The Huckledoos would begin to get really overused, and the videos would just become snooze fests. Characters like Brooklyn Guy, Cody, Goodman, and Dougie were all just getting worse and worse throughout 2023 as well. Brooklyn Guy, being a man-child, would hit an all-time low this year and would get even worse in 2024. He would constantly whine about the dumbest shit, and also the Nintendo animations would be turned up quite a bit this year, so that's fun. Cody would begin to rely on more childish gags like the news, and would just become Gay Joke the character. Goodman being abusive would become very unfun to watch, and Dougie would just become a massive child. All of these declines were hinted at before, but I think 2023 is when they really became apparent, and all of these problems would only proceed to get worse in 2024. 2024, in my opinion, is the worst SML year of all time. This year has so many problems plaguing it, it's really unbelievable. For one, so many characters are at their absolute worst this year by a long shot, particularly the same 4 characters I just listed: Brooklyn Guy, Cody, Goodman, and Dougie. The filler this year has honestly been the worst it's ever been. Like, there's the usual Brooklyn Guy won't shut the hell up about absolute nonsense stuff, but then there's also videos where it's just the same joke over and over, like Cody's hot dog restaurant, Junior finds a missing plane, Cody's stolen penny, literally every single Junior x Penelope video this year, and Cody the killer. Oh yeah, let's talk about Junior x Penelope and Cody x Timmy while we're at it. If you thought these relationships were bad in 2023, oh ho ho, just wait until you see how they're handled this year. Junior and Penelope just argue all the time, and Cody and Timmy literally just make gay jokes now. I know they did that in 2023 as well, but it's been amped up to an 11 this year. There's also the kindergarten series, which was not only an awful series, but it also caused regular school videos to just become non-existent for a while. Nintendo filler would still plague the year quite a bit, mostly by a certain obvious someone, and there's also videos where characters just talk for the sake of it, like the rigged game, Junior finds a missing plane, Jeffy's diss track, Pac-Man's divorce, the list goes on. Oh, and don't even get me started on the amount of missed potential videos this year. Stuff like the tornado, Chef Junior, Junior finds a missing plane, the Father's Day heist, Jeffy's moon cheese, Dougie the hitman, Superpowers free, Impractical Jokesters, the Krabby Patty meal, Dougie's Call of Duty heist. All of these could have been such great videos if Logan actually executed them properly. But nope, gotta keep that 3 videos a week schedule going. More on that in a minute. But overall, 2024 takes all the problems that were built up throughout modern SML and it makes them the worst they've ever been. Don't get me wrong, there are good videos this year, as with any SML year, but the bad for sure far outweighs the good. But let's go back to the 3 videos a week schedule real quick. Yes, we all know it's bad for the quality of SML videos, but it's also bad for something else really important. You see, I'm an SML Instagram reviewer, and most of the time my job is to review SML videos and critique them, but I have my own life to deal with as well, so it makes reviewing 3 videos a week way harder than just 2 like it was before. I have stuff like school to deal with, so Logan uploading 3 times a week is really stressful on reviewers like me. Reminder that Logan literally has a kid to take care of, so it's literally stressful on Logan's end as well. There's no defending this schedule no matter what. Wednesday and Saturday will forever be a far better schedule for SML. Oh yeah, also, can I just quickly mention how much I hate how late Logan uploads nowadays? Seriously, no one wants every single SML video to be released from 9 PM all the way to 2 minutes before midnight. This shit actually pisses me off. Okay, so time to answer the main question. Why is SML addicting in the first place? Well, while my answer isn't confident, I think it's still a good reason. It's because no matter how mediocre modern SML truly gets, there's always going to be great videos at times which will attempt to reel you back in. And don't get me wrong, credit where it's due, when Logan actually tries, it can really succeed well. But the problem nowadays is that the really amazing videos are so few compared to the meh and the bad, and we've only gotten a few months in modern SML that I'd consider truly great. The only truly great SML months of the 2020s that I can really think of are June 2021, July 2021, and March 2022. That's sadly pretty much it. Modern SML is full of so many problems it's honestly overwhelming to think about. Another reason I could come up with is that it's admittedly hard to fully give up on modern SML since I've been watching it since 2016, and loads of videos still give me nostalgia, mainly from the apartment era. And you never know what new videos are gonna genuinely feel like SML again, like Junior's Deadly Idea for example, which most likely felt the most like a classic SML video in years. However, I think there's a slight glimmer of hope left. In early October, Logan uploaded a video called Junior's Stealing Problem, which was a pretty fun video, aside from some stuff. But something in particular made the video feel unique, that being the set house. The set house is exactly what it sounds like, a house that is used for sets and videos. When I first saw the set house, I was actually a bit excited. I know Logan won't have all the sets done right away, but I know for a fact that stuff like the gas station or the bank are definitely making the videos feel slightly more unique. Now Logan just has to fix all the other problems with modern SML, mainly the filler, I'm looking at you, New Yorker, and the amount of missed potential there is in almost every other video at this point. Seriously, Logan, get up off your ass and actually put some effort into the videos. You did pretty decently with October, and I've heard December is going pretty well so far as well. So please just, I don't know, rewatch older videos from 2015 to 2017 and see what made them so loved and special. That's my main piece of advice to you, Logan. Anyway, I think I've said all that can be said. This video was such a fucking mountain to work on, Jesus Christ. I slacked off so many times while working on this video, and I'm just glad to be done fucking finally. Also, this video ended up being way longer than I expected. Please support this video because I felt like I went through a midlife crisis over it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later.